All right, folks, we got an association video for you here today. The Denver Nuggets versus the OKC Thunder, two of the Western Conference powerhouses. And the outcome, Denver Nuggets victorious over the Thunder. Final score of 140 to 127. The game was pretty close for, I would say, the first few quarters. And then in the fourth quarter, the Nuggets just kind of pulled away. And I think there's something important we got to talk about as it pertains to this game, and it's actually an injury. All right, so for some of the stuff from the game. The first quarter, very competitive. I think the Nuggets were up by 2 at the end of the first. The Thunder executed much better offensively in the second quarter, knocked down a lot of shots. They ended up outscoring the Nuggets by 8 in the second quarter, so they took the lead going into the second half. But J-Dub, Jalen Williams, number 8, got injured at some point in the first half and never made it back into the game. We did a video on that. We covered that injury, and that one obviously definitely impacted the scoring ability and potential of the Thunder. In fact, in the fourth quarter, the Nuggets were able to outscore the Thunder by 11, and they outscored the Thunder by 8 in the third quarter. So clearly his absence was felt. Overall, the Nuggets shot a really good percentage, 60% from the field overall. The Thunder shot 47%. From 3, the Nuggets shot 56%. The Thunder shot 40%. And then free throw-wise, the Nuggets 90%, the Thunder 87%. Really where the money was earned was in the rebounding battle, where the Thunder gave up 6 additional rebounds to their opponents. They did come up with a few extra offensive possessions through the offensive glass, but it wasn't enough to make a difference. Looking at some of the other items from the game, the turnover discrepancy, 2 more turnovers for the Nuggets compared to the Thunder. Points in the paint was pretty similar. So nothing really there. I think what it just boiled down to is the fact that, Jalen Williams, J-Dub, is a big absence. This team's second leading scorer not being there really changed things, right? It's one less of a threat that you have to worry about if you're the Nuggets, who are also missing Aaron Gordon, so they've got their own injuries. But clearly Joker wasn't bothered by the elbow. He had a very good game. He obviously was a huge part of why the Nuggets won. There's a reason why he's a multiple-time MVP. 35 points in 40 minutes of action, 15 of 20 from the field, 1 out of 2 threes, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 18 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 1 turnover. Very, very good outcomes for the Denver Nuggets when Joker plays like that. The second best player on the floor tonight, in my opinion, was Jamal Murray. Guys, when he is on, man, he is an unstoppable force. 40 minutes of action for him, 11 of 22 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3, 9 of 9 from the free throw line, throwing 6 dimes, 4 rebounds, 2 steals. Was really a good contributor for the team. The bench didn't play much, right? Basically, Peyton Watson gave you 16 off the bench in 24 minutes of action. Christian Brown gave you 14 in the starting lineup. Russell Westbrook started, got you 16 points in 33 minutes of action. You know how Russ is. It's not always just the scoring, right? 7 dimes, 5 rebounds. He had a block. So a pretty well-rounded game for the Nuggets. And Michael Porter Jr. stepped up, 17 points, 3 of 6 from 3. And then for the Thunder, obviously the injury to Jalen Williams is big, right? You don't get that second scoring threat. Chet Holmgren only able to pour in 8 points. Isaiah Hartenstein, good game, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Shea gave you 25 points, 8 of 14 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3. Not a typical Shea game, right? He's very typically rising to the occasion. I think what the Nuggets did was they really honed in and wanted to prevent him from going off, and that's what they accomplished. I think they wanted to force the ball out of his hands, make him a passer, not just let him get to his spots, raise up, get his points, and make somebody else hurt them, and I think it worked for them tonight. So between the Nuggets being very offensively efficient, scoring at a high clip, I mean, you drop 140 points, right? And then really pressuring the Thunder to make someone else beat them, not named Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Right, so SGA, it's still a good game. There's nothing wrong with the game, but he didn't have the impact that he typically does. So the Denver Nuggets are able to avenge their loss that they had on Sunday afternoon, and they get the win. And then when you kind of look at the way that things are looking for the Nuggets, they're currently positioned second in the Western Conference now. Obviously, they're probably not going to catch the Thunder, but they've got a handful of very winnable games, right? They're going to play the Timberwolves, then the Lakers without LeBron. They're going to play the Wizards, then they're going to play the Warriors, which I think are going to be a tough out. That game is a 50-50 game. That's a pick 'em if you ask me. And then they got the Lakers again on March 19th, which could still be a game that the Lakers don't have LeBron. And then they play the Blazers and the Rockets. There's a lot of winnable games there, right? When I'm looking at what the Nuggets can do over the course of the next 10 games, they could win 8 or 9 of them, and possibly even 10 if they win that Warriors game. Okay, so they're rounding out into shape here. The Nuggets are getting hot in the second half of the season, and they've got the reigning league MVP who's leading the charge for them. And Jamal Murray stepping up is huge, and Michael Porter Jr. stepping up is huge. So things are looking pretty good, and with the Lakers kind of showing some weakness with injuries and the way that they're playing, just losing to the Nets, I mean, I kind of like the Nuggets to finish second in the West, and I'm not sure it's really a question at this point. What do you guys think? Is it the Nuggets? Are they poised to be the second seed with no threat from the Lakers or anybody else for that matter? What do you guys think? Let me know. Sound off in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this. Check out some more of our videos. We'll see you guys on the next one.